Maxim, welcome back to SSO. This is a great time for you to be here, and let's talk about your recent performance here. Maxim, this time you will perform Mendelssohn's Concerto with the orchestra. Of course, obviously, it's a very common, how can I say, repertoire. You've played it lots of times. So what's new this time you want to share with us?
I love coming to SSO, and when Maestro Yulong, my wonderful colleague and friend, called me and invited me, I was always delighted. And I have a bit of a history going with this marvelous orchestra, being on tour and playing different concertos, including Butterfly Lovers Concerto and many others. So this time I'm coming to perform the famous Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. And although everybody knows this piece, for me this is always as if I'm performing for the first time.
Really?
Yes, because since I was 8 years old, my first performance was in my native city, Novosibirsk, with Novosibirsk Philharmonic. I think it's a unique piece that only few pieces for violin starts right from the solo. Yeah, so with almost, very little introduction that sets the mood. The violin shines immediately and gives. This is not one of your concertos where there is like a game of poker that you have to save the cards for the last. You just show everything right in the beginning. Yeah, so the soloists have to shine. And so the orchestra has to really provide very sensitive and very supporting accompaniment.
Recently on your tours, you will perform Mendelssohn's Concerto around China. Actually, I see your calendar. That's great, a great experience. So about this concert hall, the sound effect, is there anything special for you to perform?
I love the Shanghai Symphony Hall, and I was very lucky to be with Maestro Yulong at the very beginning, early stages of the building. We were still wearing masks because there was a lot of dust, and he showed me around, and we wore the helmet to protect ourselves. Yeah, so that's I'm very lucky to be one of the first ones to witness and to be able to play right from the start. In fact, I might have been one of the first people that actually played here, along with, of course, with Maestro Yulong, because there was a festival here. Yes. If you know the story, it's quite amazing because it was outside, in 2014, and at the time for the rehearsal, it was terrible rain. Yeah. It was pouring, so we didn't. Nobody knew if people could actually come and stand, and watch the concert with rain. But then in few hours they decided to come to this concert hall, which was almost ready. Yeah, the dressing rooms were still not done. We settled in, and it was amazing organization, how it was all organized, the transfer from the arena outside here. I was really, I said to my family, it's just I've never seen anything like this, to be able to organize all the audiences transfer here, and it was one of the most memorable evenings of my life.
It's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
So back to the Mendelssohn's Concerto. Nowadays, of course, our concert halls are getting louder and bigger. So will that be any difference when you perform that with a larger orchestra or larger environment?
First of all, the acoustics of this hall allow you to play as softly and not really actually be really too careful about whether the last rows will not hear you. When you are playing in a small room, it's one sound that you're playing. When you're playing in the concert hall with a fantastic acoustic, you have to work with the concert hall. So the concert hall becomes a perfect instrument for you. So the perfect concert for me is when you have the you have the perfection of the collaboration of the conductor, orchestra, soloist. You have wonderful music. You have the audience that is ready to receive it all, and finally, everything takes place in a beautiful, wonderful acoustic concert hall. So this is the perfection when everything merges, and it becomes really a true moment of truth in music, which we are all looking and working towards. I'm trying to forget that I'm playing the violin.
Okay.
My main instrument is not anymore hands, not anymore the instrument itself, but is the ears. So I use the instrument and my body to work with the acoustic that I'm playing. And the acoustic changes from the morning to the evening. In the morning, there's a general rehearsal, no public. When the audience gets there, that's the first idea that you will get for the concert. And you have no rehearsal for that. So this is quite a amazing moments when you connect with audience, connect with the concert hall and everything in it.
When I talk with violinists, they actually show a very special focus on acoustic things more than any other instrumentists. Is that because the instrument in your hands depends on your treatment to sound like that?
The closest instrument that one can have is the voice. Mm-hmm. So singers, vocalists, they have the instrument built in, and they have this perfection. But on the other hand, the closer it gets to you, the more fragile it is. But the reward is therefore much higher. Now, the next in line are I would say the queen instrument of all instruments is the violin. Or you can call it king or queen, but I call it queen because for me the cello is a king.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of its deeper voice. Deeper. Speaking of which, the cello for me has always been the point of attraction. You know, my great mentor, Mstislav Rostropovich, who inspired me for so many years, and I worked with him for like 17 years. So he has made me understand that we use violin just to make the music. And if violin needs to sound like cello, let it be. Oh, really? You have to imagine that you don't play the violin, but you play the cello, or you play horn, or you play the flute, for that matter. And the great violin concertos are written in that way, that you always have to blend your sound inside the orchestral texture. Mm-hmm. If you're unable to do that, you're just playing a piece with the violin piece with the orchestra accompaniment, yeah? And that's a different experience.
So he's inviting you to play a whole symphony, we can say that?
Yes, and most of the greatest concertos are written in that way. Brahms, Beethoven, these are symphonies with integrated violin solo part. Done. Up.
Talking about this, I think that you also did some teachings on website. I saw that on your official website. You actually are a great teacher when talking about violin. Because even like me, I don't play any string instruments. I can still learn a lot from your lectures.
Teaching has been always part of my DNA, part of my career, part of my life. Because first of all, teaching comes from is deeply rooted in my family, in tradition. My mother was a fantastic teacher, voice, piano, and choir conductor teacher. She has set an example for me that music is always about sharing. If you're able to share music, that's really the greatest gift. You know, as a performer, it's wonderful to stand on stage and you're sharing directly with the audiences. Now, when I leading master classes, then you share the music and your experience and your passion for music with my younger colleagues. This is the greatest gift for me, because by sharing and teaching music, I learned so much, probably more than anyone else.
Really?
Yes, because if you need to express music with words, something happens in your brain. You have to think about it, so it's not anymore only instinctive. You know, I started teaching regularly and giving master classes since the age of 21. Mm-hmm. And then I enrolled into the one institution where I spent 4 years having my own class, which was great experience. That's where I really learned to be a teacher. I don't have so much time for teaching at the moment because of my private family commitment and because of my violin playing. But I always give master classes wherever I can. People have come to me, and this was amazing because I had, alongside with professionals, I had kids, amateurs, people that, you know, really loved to play but sometimes couldn't. But we had the most amazing time. It was one of the greatest gifts of my life, to share music in this way. Yeah. So I'm continuing to research on the sound and the conference platform with the IT teams, searching for best technologies, and hopefully can do something valuable for society, for musical society.
Will you arrange your tours according to, for example, we do Tchaikovsky for a period, then we do Brahms for a period, or then we do Mendelssohn for a period? Will you arrange that for yourself?
It all depends. Depends up to the commission from the concert hall or the orchestra. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they ask for something. Yeah. And I normally don't refuse.
You're so kind.
No, I just like to perform different repertoire. You know, for instance, last year I've performed maybe about 15 to 20 different programs, different concertos, 3 or 4 different recital programs, chamber music, so a lot. And sometimes every day, different.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask which one is your favorite?
Concerto?
Yeah.
Very hard. I think I'm the person that, whenever I stand on stage and perform something, this becomes my favorite. As banal as it sounds, but it is. I tell you, for the reason that, if I stand on stage and it's not my favorite tonight, I shouldn't be standing here. Yeah. Because I cannot convince the audience.
So this year you will have Mendelssohn here, and then you will focus on Sibelius's concerto and also your own recitals. What's your plan for this year? Is there any main theme of your own works?
I'm in the middle of the 3-year perspective with Carnegie Hall that allows me to share my music and in different ways, different forms, such as recital, playing with orchestra, working with chamber orchestras, doing recitals with pianists, chamber works, and this is very exciting. Last year we have launched this 3-year perspective, starting with all 7 concertos by Mozart, with the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra. There was 2 evenings. It was wonderful to play in Carnegie Hall. For me, this is one of the greatest halls, such as this one. I'm very happy again to be performing with the marvelous Shanghai Symphony Orchestra on the invitation of my great friend Yu Long. Thank you so much.